Ó, quer ver aí falar com ele? Ó, o ID.
Best way, right, to get these things. I have no idea what is happening. Okay, let's start by looking at situational awareness and go from there.
Morning, AG. My essay this morning remains
Então
cautious
AI, ó.
as the market continues to trade in a choppy fashion. Select breakouts and select breakdowns working. Market Monitor had a 300 plus green reading yesterday with improved margins across primary and secondary indicators. All secondary indicators returned green with the exception of the 13% indicator, which remained red. The T2108 improved, moving from 36.04 to 40.03, and the 20% study was equal weighted with a 1-to-1 ratio of bullish to bearish stock. The VIX retreated while the major indices reflected broad-based buying and trading near all-time highs on earnings and trade policy optimism. Looking at the small caps, TNA and IWM both outperformed, closing green. The NASDAQ, the S&P, and Dow all bounced back, closing green, and crypto stock rallied as Bitcoin advanced above the $110,000 mark. Overall, my plan of action remains slow and deliberate risk-taking on A-plus quality EP9 million and delayed reaction setups, selling into strength and peeling to account for anticipated volatility from headline risk.
Okay.
IG.
Yeah.
3 earning stocks that are on my list is INTC, MXL, and NXT. One biotech that's gapping up on news is INBX, so potentially a fourth, the key ones.
Okay. Okay, so essay with a lot of confidence, I can say 95% probability that market is going to rally for next 2 weeks. You can take that to the bank. Okay. Are breakouts likely to work? Yeah, I'm traveling. So every time this year when I was traveling, the market was rallying, right? And basically, so that's the thing basically. So next 2 weeks, you're like basically going to have rally of your life. Have fun. Okay. Are breakouts likely to work? Selectively expect choppiness. New sugar babies are emerging from lower price stocks. You will see that when you look at the lower price stocks, there are a lot of these new big moves which are happening, especially when you drop the price below $1 also. Like you see, when you start looking at this, you have this a newer kind of a DGIX, which has come in your MSAI, whatever that is, right? And basically, Arab, this US antimony is not really a new one, but you see, there is some shifting happening, oil and gas stocks. So in terms of um, biotech, oil and gas are the new themes which are emerging. In addition to that, probably seasonally, the time you might get some retail also, because retail tend to do well in the last quarter, right? And basically, so those are the themes which are emerging. Are breakdowns likely to work? Selectively, second legs on extended stocks. The extended stocks had first leg down. So many of these extended stocks like Oklo and things like that, and QBTS and Quantum and all, they are going to have another leg down, but not immediately. It will take some time for them to set up, and then they will have a second leg down, probably 2 or 3 days of this thing, or in the case of Oklo, say here, after a couple of days, it will have a second leg kind of a down move probably. So that's the most likely scenario here. And because the big stocks like AMD, Nvidia, and all, especially when you look at the one which are an up of kind of a thing from 2,500 funds ownership, the stocks which had been doing well, they have not really been damaged at all. Like the selling was concentrated in these flop stocks, the stocks which are like basically going up crazily, but like these stocks like Moo and Palantir and all haven't really broken down. So expect those stocks to probably some of them which are like to start rallying basically or have some sort of a move basically, right? And that's essentially what you're looking at here in terms of. I would not be surprised even GE tries to make some moves after this. Whatever is going sideways probably might try and make some move, but essentially this move will still remain a choppy move, and the nearest parallel to this will be like the attempt at like a new high like this, probably, or a new high like this, probably, which will trap a lot of people because they'll all get in like and then things might happen. So, choppiness still remains the likelihood of in the market basically here. It's not going down because there's been no follow through selling after this. There's no follow through selling after this day. There's no follow through selling after this day. So 3 days it tried to sell, but deep buyers are very strong. But the number of stocks which are going to participate is going to be smaller. So be extremely selective, right? And then at 4:30 today, session on all kinds of EP which you can think of, and EP family, and how you can find something which suits your style and time commitment in the EP family, right? Did I put the link for it? No. So that's what is happening. In terms of SIPs, there are a lot of SIPs today, probably like an intraday trading, day trading kind of a thing. And again, depends on what is like uh, depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for institutional quality kind of names, then you have Intel, you have Ford, you have Deckers Outdoor. But to me, Deckers Outdoor is like more a delayed reaction EP. These charts become better after a delayed reaction EP. So these two will be probably something for delayed reaction EP. Target is a SIPS, Intel is a SIPS, Ford is a SIPS basically. Nothing which looks like a this thing. And these are some of the stocks which had like a good earnings, but many of them like next tracker is way extended, so there's nothing here which is like an EP quality essentially on these kind of things. And obviously you will have the junior stocks like the biotech and all making crazy moves that will continue. What kind of a thing can lead to a follow through selling? Yes, Trump can lead to follow through selling if the um, I think also there are like an reason. Some of the things can be like the market is going up in anticipation of interest rate decision. When the interest rate decision comes in, that might become sell the news kind of a reaction, right? And it's going up because of that. And Trump is building up suspense about China, and that is also leading to the stock market like going up. But if there is nothing comes out of the China talk or something happens, that can also both ways like it can lead to sell the news kind of a reaction, kind of a thing. But the you say what has happened this week is the crazy moves which are happening in some of these quantum stocks and all. Those stocks have had a reaction basically. That's what you'll see if you see like which stocks got like in a hit, and then again you can go to momentum here, and if you look at 10 days, you can see the stocks which got hit were largely the stocks which had which were like making crazy moves. Or in the last 5 days, if you look at, you will see that like they were stocks which are making crazy moves and they got hit. The Oklos and the things of the world kind of a thing got hit basically. In 50% study, you can find it better if you look at like say some of these stocks which were making this GNPX, Critical Metals Corporation, STI. Those are the one. Nova Mineral, NBTX. They are the one which are like getting anything which was extended was getting hit basically in the last 5 or 10 days, and that's what you'll see in this thing. But it will remain choppy, so sustained moves may not happen. Basically, that's the thing. Western Union. Why is Western Union showing here? Okay, any questions? Coursera is also selling off. Trump talking at 3 p.m. When is it that he doesn't talk? Like he talks all day. So where do I see BBAI? You should be able to answer that question if you understand Magna 53 cap 10 by 10, right? And basically one look at the X-ray of BBAI tells you what? Does it really meet any of the Magna 53? There is like it's a story stock, right? And it's a story stock. It has AI in its name. That's all, right? And operation artificial intelligence, machine learning through end-to-end data analytic platform. That's like a theme. It's a theme stock. It has nothing to do with earnings or things like that, right? It's a story stock, right? And it's a story stock. And this is why you should look at like a video which I did some time ago, which is called X-ray. I think the name of the video is X-ray itself. So yeah, a lot of things are projected as new Palantir, right? But there is a difference between Big Bear AI and Palantir. If you look at the X-ray of Palantir, what do you see here? Is there a difference in X-ray of Palantir versus Big Bear AI? Do you see here? There is everywhere blue, right? And look at Big Bear AI. There are hundreds of stocks today which are talked about as next uh, Palantir. And this is why, no matter how many times people criticize this software and all, right? And this software is required if you want to really focus on genuine stocks with catalyst kind of real, like an EP kind of stocks. If you want to focus, then you need this kind of X-ray. But obviously, it really doesn't matter because the market is not really moving based on X-rays. If that was the case, you would have bucket zero, bucket one stock leading the market. Do you see bucket zero, bucket one stock leading the market, or you see anything and everything which is not bucket one and bucket zero leading the market? Right. It's all like you see that like everything which is going up is like YTD winners, right? And RGC, Regency Bioscience. If you look at it, is some Chinese herbal medicine or things like that. Okay, anyway, market is opening, so let's look at it. Gap up, so probability of a fade is there.
Pradeep, what do you think about deck? Already like 13% down.
That is, I'm going to monitor it for a delayed reaction EP on the short side, basically. I'm not getting in today because I just don't see a trade there for that. But it might like intraday, it might offer some this thing. This Booz Allen and Hamilton, depending on how much volume it does also.
PayPal is setting up well.
Which one? PayPal?
Yeah.
Okay. See, Palantir is trying to break out from here, but like the second day of the move. This is long consolidation. Yesterday was the breakout basically. So
And Tesla also had a very good move yesterday.
yes, very nice. Deckers Outdoor, Airport Mining Outlook. This Ford Motors that might like be the one which today. Should I make him the host? Intel. It's good. The catalyst is good for basically the short term move. I'm not sure whether it is good for a long term move because when you look at the X-ray of Intel, I think if you're looking for a longer term kind of a play, the one which I highlighted yesterday, Honeywell, this has some potential. Like you have to understand the catalyst, little bit complicated catalyst, but this is like it is to split into three companies. So I think, and if you have a holding period of 2 to 3 years, this is definitely something which is going to give you good this thing, because whenever it splits, it's like a G split into two, or OTs and those things split in. So when they split into three, you're going to get like in a three company stocks, and typically the splits tend to do well. So it's a so that's the thing basically. Yeah, UTX like split. Danner also recently split, right? Dow, I think Dow Chemicals also split. Like Oralto, isn't Oralto the division of was like something which broke out from there? Means I didn't expect much move from Intel after 8% gap up, so I didn't even play it. Yeah, LDI. I think I'm bullish on that LDI. That's a good one, basically. That's that's a good one, Loan Depot. Honeywell definitely for those who are like in a long-term investors kind, you can put in a position, small position, and like see, because it is going to be yeah, this is SIPS. NVIDIA. Taiwan Semi, which is like basically, yeah, I mean, it's like the Intel news may be more bullish for these kind of stocks than Intel itself. But again, Taiwan Semi has made a big move, right? So Western Union, Lithium America, Critical Metal Abat. Google, I think also has a positive catalyst. It was also stocks in play because they have signed up with some AI company. So that, and this is a good setup actually. But the earnings is in couple of days, but that's would have been a good setup.
What are you doing reds for? Bye.
It's amazing. Last year, this year, whenever I traveled, the market went up.
Hmm.
Okay, one person is out of this meeting. I think let's start banning some people permanently. Then there'll be some discipline, right? Reddit. Let's see how quickly the move starts fading. So this was on my delayed reaction, but I didn't want to take a position ahead of my travel. But like that was delayed reaction, Morgan Stanley, right? And the catalyst was good for the kind of stock it is, and that was a delayed reaction. Sucks. Yeah. Allen and Hamilton. AMD breakout happened yesterday, right? And if there is only one thing which I would advise everybody to understand, if you can understand only one concept in trading, just one concept, it's called SOS. Have you heard of SOS? This is the second day of a move, right? Start of a swing is yesterday, not today. Why wasn't it any range expansion? Yesterday it was up 2.07%. This day it was down 1.05%. This was down 3.28%. What is your definition of a range expansion? Is 2.0% greater than -1% and minus to 3.28%? Early in the morning, if 9:30, 9:42, we are having this discussion. I have no idea what to think about, right? Open Door Technologies, this is a story stock, 100% unadulterated story stocks. Anything can happen on this kind of a story stock. So, and it's a sugar baby and a recent sugar baby. So you can give it a benefit of doubt with a small position, right? And it's completely, these kind of stocks are the one which can make the big moves. What is my reason for like, and basically the market will be up because I'm traveling. I'm not there for next 2 weeks. And every time I am traveled, the market has gone up. Every time it's like this whole rally started when I was in like here, like this thing started. I was in Colorado, right? And basically, so this is why next year I have very, very, very limited travel schedule basically.
Where are you going, Easy?
I'm going to India.
Beautiful. Enjoy.
Western Union, this had earnings today, but like Western Union earnings are not right now. Google, that is a good breakout, and I think there is a catalyst also. But again, remember, like these early breakouts may fade. No meeting next week. Wells Fargo and Company, again, this was like for the kind of stock Wells Fargo is, it had a very good earnings, right? And so, will it make a move up around $4, $5 or $90? Can it go to? Yes, possible. So if you're looking for like smaller moves kind of things, then those are the things. StubHub Holding. Oh. Dakers Outdoor, Report Mining, PNG. So let's look at yesterday's things which we had selected and see what is happening. Rambus gapped up, not bad. ENCG, Sanmina gapped up, right? And those are the two good looking setups. GME, nothing much. ABV also gapped up basically. So semiconductor is the theme still in play basically. With Intel coming out again, more likely the theme work. Okay, let's go and do our work. Copy all symbols to EP 9 million. Let's see if it is. I do have things in EP 9 million which I was working on. It's doing delayed reaction EP. TBTS, Andus, MicroStrategy, AMD, Tesla, American Airlines Group, Nokia, Rigetti Computers, NVIDIA, second day of a move. Open door technology, this was also reversal bullish here. So essentially third day, but still and that's because it's a story stock and it's a sugar baby. So uh, I would say that's the one which has potential. Ford Motors, that was the SIPS stocks in play basically. Beyond SIPS, I don't see any reason to be bullish on that particular stock. It's just a day trade stock. It's like GM, right? And that day GM went up. After that, and it just been sitting there, not doing much. So same Ford, probably one day move. Intel, Soxel, Iron, Beyond Meat, Genta. Now, one of the reason why I'm doing this particular session today, the EP, I think many of you will benefit by attending that setup is because there is so much confusion, right? Today morning, I was and I got up and I was looking at my emails and Twitter and all. So many messages asking me, is Intel a EP? Right. Now, what criteria of Magna 53 cap 10 by 10 Intel meets, tell me. This shit can really go, huh? Keep an eye on this. This can go in a crazy because that's what. No, even when you look at say Intel, right, and basically, or look at Ford Motor, right? -5, minus +6, 5 -5 plus -8. So yeah, 1 day moves. A lot of stocks are going to make 1 day move. That's a SIP. You look at Intel. What do you see here? What does a like in a good this thing like in a turnaround kind and all of them saying, oh, it's a turnaround EP. The best example of turnaround EP was ANF, but at ANF when it had a turnaround, look at what it was showing, right? That's what X-ray of a turnaround kind of a thing looks like. Here you see. So anyway, let's not discuss that because some mind cannot be changed. Okay, so what do you see in American Eagle that tells you that this is a turnaround? What do you see here in the X-ray of American Eagle which tells you that this is a turnaround? Is there anything which shows turnaround here? $76, and here you have 82. So it's almost neck to neck. Red to blue in Market Smith is like a turnaround. Oh man. So again, Neuphoria biotechnology, right? And basically, what's happening? Ford, that's a SIPS. I do not think it's anything to do with this thing. Nvidia, Wyoming Technology, Western Union, LAC, Sierra. Google again. Is there enough time? But like that's a good breakout basically. About these are all like broken stocks. Can they rally for a couple of days? Yes, but like in the next likely move is going to be down on these core view point. Be selective here. The market is not going to be like what it was, so be selective. Coin, Joby, IBM, Reddit. Again, Reddit is one of those stocks which keeps like having breakouts which don't do anything. This Wells Fargo, again, that's one thing which I think has potential. Morgan Stanley, again, this is a delayed reaction kind of a thing. It's not going to be, these are not going to be fast moving stocks, okay? These are stocks which are going to make like you're lucky 3-4%. Real estate, again, this is like a delayed reaction kind of a thing, real estate sector. Because of the interest rate, you have these real estate stocks rallying today. OpenAI also, no, Open Door also because of that. Your best bet today probably is Open Door. Jeffries, exposure to subprime, Magnafloat. Ma. Pass. Talon. Google. That's the best looking breakout. This Wells Fargo Morgan Stanley house, somebody told me just now that is merging, right? And so let's put it here so that it's not like coming into our scan. Morgan Stanley will not even make 8 to 10%, right? It's a dollar breakout kind of a situation. So you will probably, if you're risking, say, if you buy just now, right, your stop will be half of the day. Supposing, let's say, if you put your stop at around close to around, like, say, half of the day will be around $1, right? And basically, you're looking at around $4 to $5 kind of a move here. Maybe if you're lucky, 170. So the Wells Fargo similar kind of a situation, but it's very choppy also. Wells Fargo hasn't really like got going, and the banks still have some overhang of potential liability on subprime. So I wouldn't go there personally. Only thing is I had it as a delayed reaction for early entry. Open is the completely story stock, open door technology, right? And it's got the imagination of the crowd. Whatever has caught the imagination of the crowd, that is the stock which you should focus on. And that is, this is a sugar baby. I don't really care what catalyst it has. It's just a thing, right? I'm not going to hold anything when I'm traveling, right? And I don't want to have any pressure when I'm traveling, right? I'm traveling to India after, I think the last I was in India was 2019. So I'm not going to be like in a holding position, something. So that's one I think, and it has a, because it's a sugar baby, right? And a sugar babies select themselves. There is no bootcamp. There is no. I'm just traveling for my own. Ah. Okay, bearish work. Tesla, Genta, Rigetti, Deckers Outdoor, PMI, Mining, Apple, PNG, Oracle, Persiaba, TH, GNL, SLM, JSK, Meta, Next Tracker. Again, Next Tracker also somebody asked me, is it an EP? Arctus Therapeutics, delayed reaction, EP, kind of a situation. I don't want to tell you where in India. Everybody will be like an all over place, right? And basically, unless you have some inside dope. On Semiconductor Corporation, Texas Instrument. That thing doesn't go down. Microchip, NNE, AMAT, Qualcomm, STX, J&Js. Honeywell, this I explained to you. If you are planning to get enter something like Honeywell, research the catalyst, understand, and then only go, because it's not going to be like a straightforward kind of a situation. It will take almost 6 months for it to like and split and things like that. But it's like a GE kind of a potentially, right? GE kind of a situation. GD, Dorosan, Mohawk. Google. This Otis, this was a split, right? And this split into, this is a split up from some company. I don't remember, United Text, UTX or something, right? Otis. See, this is what happens when there is a split. There was a split from that company of Otis and another company, and all of them doubled. So that's what tends to happen. I don't see anything on the short side here at all, except for that Arctus, which is a delayed reaction kind of a situation. Copy flag to newsletter. ERWV core view. Yeah, it's 2 days. So what you have here is basically Google, which is the best looking setup. This Wells Fargo, very choppy. Morgan Stanley, there is still a overhang on the banks of things. So I would not go into those two based on that. But like, and basically, open is the thing basically, and Google too. And if you want to short, maybe Arctus, I would not even sure about the catalyst here. I will research what the catalyst is, but if you're looking for that. So open, door, Google, and Arctus. Opening range breakout. It's like the people who buy opening range breakout, they are like primarily doing SIPs, right? And SIPs require certain amount of skills. So if your skills is good in terms of finding the right kind of SIPs, then opening range breakout works. Not, then it doesn't work. Ampex. This is a very poor setup, right? And I mean, why are you getting involved in stocks like this? Like, this is such a poor setup, right? And it's so choppy, right? And if you had to get involved in this stock, here, see the difference between this and here. Was it a clean setup? Means there is a person who wrote yesterday saying that he made 60% or something just taking A class setup. That's a definition of a class setup, right? And this is a definition of a D grade setup. So if you do that, means open. Yesterday was like a 3%, but like that's a sugar baby 9 million breakout story stock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 9 million breakouts. So it might be on the 6 months or 50 days, number one sugar baby probably. It's even lower than that. Where is open? It doesn't even show up here. Why doesn't open show up? Open. Right, sugar baby number 4. So that's like a lot of sugar. And it's a sugar baby number 4 or number 3 here. So it's got like tremendous amount of sugars. Plus there is a big range. So yeah. Those are the things. So again, go back to EP 9 million, look at EP 9 million, Beyond Meat, that's Intel. See this Intel, there's nothing in that earnings to get excited about. Ford, yeah, it's going to be one day move. Open door. Adobe. Why will I get interested in Adobe, right? And there is nothing here. This was like it's not even like worth. Six for. And so here there's a catalyst traded 97 million shares. So this can be considered, but like again, it's fading today, but raised to 85 million. That's when I researched, I put that. NBIs, no, I don't have any position. I'm zero position currently, cash. Okay. I'm not going to hold anything when I'm traveling. Just want to have a peaceful travel, no tension. But means if you're buying it as a 9 million EP sugar baby, you just give it a wider stop or stop at low of the day. Your intention of trading a sugar baby should be to try and capture 40 to 50% kind of a thing, right? And basically, if you're like, I would put a stop here somewhere, not at low of the day, but I would put a stop somewhere here to at least give it some room. Because sometimes they need more room, like in a here, like in it. So again, uh, personally, I would have like the volume. If this volume was high, it would have been like even better. Like on this particular day when it broke out, that was a good. This thing volume was there at least or something, or this continuation setup. There was a volume. Today it looks very low volume kind of a thing. So, but yeah, I would like definitely. If you're up 30%, then I would like basically put my stop here somewhere. Give it around like say out of this open profit around 5%, with the hope of making more profit kind of a thing. So again, look at like basically anything which is up a lot in your sensitive. So yeah, Logistic Healthcare, right? 325 million shares traded. So 325 multiplied by $1. Again, you can say dollar breakout like institutions are buying, but it doesn't mean that. What it means is that there's a lot of churn around which is happening in the 5 times the float has been churned on this particular stock. Similarly, Beyond Meat, Intel, that's Ford Motor, right? And open is the number third stocks by liquidity today. So that's definitely. Ford is going to be, it's a 1 day move, right? And I miss probability of it going into a consolidation. Can it make a like another 10% move possible? But here is the thing, right? You have to understand catalyst. Why is Ford going up? What's the reason why Ford is up today? Their last quarter sales were good. Now, why were the last quarter sales good? Because everybody expected car prices to go up because car prices, consumer was expecting car prices to go up. What did consumer do? They front run the tax credit, right? And a tax credit, or they bought cars uh, because they thought it is going to pull forward. So if they pull forward the demand, what is likely to happen to their next quarter? So again, you have to you have to understand a catalyst. When you see a catalyst, you have to become a catalyst expert if you are going to be trading catalyst, news catalyst. Yeah, is it a good catalyst for a 1 day move? Yes, if it has a short interest and GM did well on this same kind of a news that day, but after that, like what did GM do? Yeah, it did like little bit more, but no, it's not going to be a game changer, right? So that's the thing. So beyond that, is there anything in this? No, right? And basically, so that's how you look at a piece of news and look at what happened. Before that, people were selling this because they didn't expect anything. So yes, there'll be some shorts which will be trapped and things like that. But um, uh, how is it this game changing news for Ford going forward? Are people going to buy more Ford cars, or they bought more Ford cars because they're expecting the prices to go up in next 2 to 3 months? There was a car buying frenzy before the um, tariffs kicked in, right? And there was if you saw, there were ads all over and all. So that's why the GM Ford, they are having this good quarter. But it's the same thing with Tesla. Tesla had a good quarter. Why did Tesla had a good quarter? So when you do the SIPs, you have to be like SIPs. This is why there are two ways to make money in the market. One is analytical or analytical based, and the other is just pattern based. SIPs, EP, DEP, these are all based on analytical skills. And pattern based is, yeah, just look at a pattern and say, okay, this looks like a good breakout, and then just buy based on pattern. And if you are not focusing on these low price stocks, really the low price stocks, you can see all these stocks which were SIPs. Did they offer you an opportunity intraday to trade today? Means without going into uh, really the low priced one. The low priced one obviously are the one where everybody is interested. But if you don't get interested, and if you don't want to spend time, right? And this is also second day of a swing, right? Intel Ford. Now that's a 4% breakout on open. Yeah, open door. KBTS. So 500 brick. Okay, any question? No questions. I will see you people at 3 o'clock, and then some of you at 4 o'clock. Basically, those of you who have confusion about what is an EP, especially those of you who claim that Intel was an EP, or those who claimed like yesterday that GM was an EP or this is an EP, you should attend that meeting.